This is the Vox AC30HW2. It's a Vox AC30HW2 means hand-wired 2-speaker. This is Vox's best attempt at making a replica of the best sounding Vox AC30 in the reproduction. They've addressed as many shortcomings of the original and made an accurate reproduction of the sound quality of the original Vox. This is also I think it's out of production now, but was made in a single 15 and as a head and separate cabinet. It's in classic Vox fawn colour, the classic diamond grille. It's birch ply, very high quality, all the best components they could find was put into this to give it the best sound. It came in a packing case, comes with a nice brown slip cover. It's got a foot pedal, mains lead, and the instructions. Now this is the 2-speaker version. It comes with Celestian greenbacks. I'm not sure if it was ever available with Vox Bulldog's blue Alnico speakers. It might have been, but these are G12Ms, 25 watts each, two of them, 8 ohms, 75 hertz, which is the best fundamental frequency version for for a normal guitar. Now they've tried to make this a dead accurate replica of the Vox AC30 original, but with a few extra modern additions. For instance, you've got the speaker plugs in at the back, so you can disconnect the speaker and put external speaker cabinets, or use the internal and an external one, and there's a speaker impedance switch as well. It's got the mains plug, detachable mains lead. It's interesting to note this is made in Vietnam, but it's been immaculately well made, faultlessly well made, superb birch ply cabinet, control panel. They've tried to keep the circuit exactly the same as the original Vox AC30, but with a few modern additions. But the modern additions can be switched out actually. It's got 2 channels working off the ECC83 valves. There's 3 of them in this. It's all valve. 3 ECC83s or AX7s, some people know them. 4 EL84s and the GZ34 valve rectifiers. No solid state rectifier in this. So it's got 2 inputs. It hasn't got the EF86 Pento, which was in some of the early Voxes, but they've just kept it as 2 inputs with the ECC83 type circuit. There's a standard normal input, the bright switch, which switches in a capacitor in and out basically. It kept the original sort of design for 2 inputs, high and low. It's just a padding resistor. I mean, hardly anyone would use that anymore, but you can with Voxes connect the 2 inputs together with a jumper lead from low to high, as there's no phase inversion or anything, so that you can put both circuits together if you want to. Second channel has got the treble and bass controls and a hot and cool switch. Now the hot and cool switch basically switches in and out the tone control, and by doing that it also gives quite a volume jump. Now the foot switch also is connected to this hot and cool switch, so if you've got it switched to cool, I believe, well, one position or the other anyway, when you press the foot switch it jumps to the full bypass mode, which is quite a jump in volume. So it's like a solo switch for loud solos, and then you switch it off again. So that's quite useful. Now there's the original Voxes of course never had master volume controls. This has got a master volume control which you can be switched out so that it still retains the original vintage circuitry, but master volume is really very useful to have these days. Tone cut still works exactly the same as the original. It cuts the tone right at the end of the preamp stage. And also on this there's a 30 watt 15 watt switch which switches the output valves from pento to triode. I've never found triode sounded any good. It's quite a weedy kind of sound. I've never found any use for it, but anyway they've put it in so you can maintain the original circuit in the 30 watts position. On off switch and lamp, no standby. There was never any standby in Voxes, which is probably a good idea. Standby switches can cause trouble, they can burn out, and they can blow fuses and that if you switch them on and off too fast on some amps. Nice cabinet. They put bigger grills. The original Voxes had tiny grills which didn't really let any heat out at all, and they tended to cook the transformers, especially as they on old Voxes, which is a common problem with overheating. They used to get really hot. And a little grill on the back to let the air in as well. Now on this I've loosened the screws on this so we can look inside the quality of the thing. So I loosened the screws on the back panel, take it off. Now very nice construction inside. You've got tag boards, or one custom made tag board, and all the components look very high quality. They've been immaculately well soldered in position in Vietnam. Done a very nice job. Everything is extremely well done. All the wires are neatly twisted and tie wrapped, and even fixed to the chassis with adhesive pads, tightly wound to minimize any hum pickup you might get from the heater supplies. Everything is high quality. Everything's neatly made. Very nice job they've done. Now this is still classic design, how the for servicing the thing slides out if you want to change the valve. So I've loosened the two screws that hold this in position on the side so it can be eased out. There you go. Pulling it out, have a look inside. Valves. First ECC83 there, or 88AX7 has got a can on it to try and keep any noise pickup off. The others are nicely held in by strong clips so that any vibration banging around, the valves aren't going to come loose and give any problem. The GZ34 is held at the base by a clip that digs into the base so that it can't come loose. Decent sized transformers on here. They look a bit bigger than some of the original Vox AC30s. Nice choke design. They kept the choke. Choke is the best way, reducing hum and giving you a decent power supply. Choke or inductors, they're often are not used anymore because they're more expensive than capacitors, but they do a better job than capacitors. So the valves, they've all got ruby tubes written on the side of the valves. So I'm assuming that they're good quality valves. Like everything else, seems to be very well made. So looks like about the best example of a Vox AC30 you can buy without having to buy an original, which the originals were not as neatly made as this. And of course they will, if you buy an original now, it's going to be pretty much beaten around and probably have problems. So I reckon this is probably the best Vox AC30 that they've made if you want a replica of the original. Very nice indeed. So there it is, the Vox AC30HW2 hand wired. Very nice.